Panini lunch sandwich. Okay. Today I need to steal a wheel bearing. You might remember, you might not. My 04 silver Deville is starting to make some noise out of the rear passenger side. And the wheel bearing's almost toast, and I'm sure that it's because I cooked the crap out of it with that bad brake. The deer sit in the sun for a little while. I'm gonna get this caddy out of here. If you listen closely to the engine, you should be able to hear the failing oil pump. I gotta break those lugs free on both cars. I'll tear this one apart first, get my part off of it, leave it on a jack stand, and then I will tear this one apart, reassemble, steal this wheel bearing, put it back on that car. Let's get started. In order to get the wheel bearing off, start out by removing the caliper mounting bracket. You should be able to leave the pads in place for the most part. Get my hammer out, because of course it's basically welded there. Huh, that did it. Definitely feels better than mine. Let's see what size we got to deal with here. Make sure I got all the bolts out, I suppose, before I start smacking around on it. Should pop right out. It's just rusted. That's what happens with aluminum and steel. gonna need a bigger hammer. So this method worked. I had the wheel bearing still in place here. I bolted the rotor on backwards, and then I smashed onto the rotor with my giant pokey hammer. So it ended up popping right apart. Now if I can just get the rotor off of the wheel bearing, we'll be laughing. Look at that. Like new, except old and grindy and rusty, but there's no play in it, and that's what I need. I'm going to take this rotor to the other car because this is a good hammer-on rotor. I'll leave the bolts here for everything else. Check out that dust shield. Nice and clean. Maybe I'll change mine if mine's all dicked up. Let's go over and find out because I actually don't know. Here we go, round 2. Let's get the hammer and brake disc on there. Oops. Put a 19. Run 2 lugs down. Get my big hammer and tool. Ready? 1, 2, 3. She's like welded on there. Shabam! There goes the speed sensor too. Good. I want my lug nut. Alrighty. Got me some anti-seize because this stuff is like gold. If you've never used this when you've done brakes or even rotating tires, put it on the lug nuts. The next time you take something apart, you will definitely not regret it. You'll realize quickly how valuable this stuff is, and for the amount of time it takes you to install it, you should. What it's designed to do is to help keep parts from rusting together and seizing. So if you coat a bolt in anti-seize and then run it into the passage, all those threads are kept really nice. See, this was one of my bolts from the caliper bracket that hangs on to the back here, and they're coated. I've had them, this is the second time. You guys saw when I just did the rear brakes, but when I bought the car I also did the same thing. It makes it so much easier to tear apart. Really, it's like a joke. Alright, so this guy, a little bit shitty. Let's look at the other one. There you go, so that's 05, that's 04. Rusty, ugly, still got some paint on it. Winter. So this fits on here. So let's do this. Put a little bit of anti-seize on that as well. Because we're doing all the work already, why not? Paint it up real good. The port for the ABS sensor was facing the front of the car, so I'll do the same thing again. Wing. Okay, before you put your rotor on, paint the wheel bearing, because did you guys notice how hard I was smashing to get that other rotor off the car? Look at the back of it. It welded itself to the car just because of the rust. It really, I'm telling you, this stuff makes your life easy. Coat the threads on the lugs, coat the plate where any steel touches aluminum, where any steel touches steel. even after my brakes were super heated, like this disc was glowing red. All the bolts still came out. I didn't really fight with anything to take it apart. Okay, looks good to me. Everybody's got a little bit, so let's get my clean rotor. Let's see if we can get the caliper bracket back in position. If I put it the right way, perhaps. Don't forget, torque wrench is your best friend. Clear. Well done. Suppose I'll put the other pile back together though, so I can at least move it. Ha! Just remembered. What I didn't show you was that I actually plugged in the ABS sensor before I put the wheel on. I'm lying. I forgot. I'm gonna reach back there and do it right now. Sometimes you get too excited and you just forget what it was you were doing. And you overlook something silly, like leaving this guy going nowhere. So if I reach back there, if my handle contort that way, perhaps I can plug it in. From that. Screen. See, plenty of reach. Yeah, a little louder. That was a positive click. Make sure that sensor's not, it looks out of the way of the suspension, so should be a-okay. See if you guys can see better from back here. You can see excellent in there. So now she's plugged in and good to go. Look up here. That's the one-way valve where the air compressor used to be for the leveling rear end. What I did to fix mine, because it stopped working, is I put this, the tire valve, on a piece of hose that connects into the air shocks. That lets me self-level the ride. So I put about 50 or 60 pounds of air in it, and it sits up nice and tall. So now that it's plugged back in, I should be good to go. Except for the other car, which we will put together right now. But I've already done it once, so I'll save you the boring details. Extra pieces. I didn't even bother putting the shield back on because that's a damn difference. I'll leave it with the rest of the goodies. Let's Put this pig back in the barn where it belongs. Yeehaw!